The second thing that Bob was talking about, Bob Harper, is get to know your body and listen to it. Get to know your body and listen to it. So here's what I mean by that. 3 things. Number 1, pay attention to the foods that you eat and what it does to you. And this changes constantly. So after you eat a meal, on that day where you say, wow, I don't feel good, and you turn to someone who might have eaten with you and say, are you okay? And they say, yeah, I'm fine. Well, something's going on in your system that you're not okay. There's something happening there. So go through in your mind and start drawing conclusions about the foods you eat. You know, it's funny, pretty recently, I love eggs. I love eggs. I eat them for dinner, scrambled eggs, just really simple. And recently, when I've been eating eggs, they're bothering me. And I'm very clear on what it is because I pay attention. So now I've minimized that. And if it gets to the point, and it could just be my body telling me that I was eating them in excess, having too much of the nutritional value of an egg in my system. So I cut back, and then I'll eat an egg on occasion. And if it still starts bothering me, what am I going to do? I'm going to cut it out some more. Doesn't that make sense? So pay attention to the foods you eat and what that does to your body. Secondly, pay attention to what you drink. So water generally is the easiest thing, right? But if you're drinking soda and you realize you're starting to get a little bit of a headache, soda is becoming toxic to your system. You've had too much in it and it can't deal with it anymore. And of course, alcohol, right? There's all kinds of issues that come from that, which gets me to my third point. And the point Bob Harper was making this morning. He said, you know, I was having these little dizzy spells and I was poo-pooing them off, right? Especially someone at the high level of fitness that he must be at. His body fat is probably really low. His weight is excellent. He eats pretty clean, I bet. So the dizzy spells, the dizziness, should have been a sign to him. Headaches are so key. We can't always tell from a headache what is wrong, but I can assure you, if you have a headache, something's wrong. It's a sign of a toxicity in your body. What's the most well-known one that you're all familiar with? The great American hangover, right? A hangover is a sign of toxicity in your body. Your liver can't process that overabundance of alcohol fast enough, and it manifests itself in a headache. The same thing happens when you have a headache and you haven't been drinking alcohol. There's something else wrong in your system, and you just need to take some time to figure it out. So that's my point 2. Get to know your body and then listen to it. So Bob Harper knew that he had a headache, but he didn't listen to it. RENÉE, on the other hand, had that calcium issue, and every year I would watch that calcium, and I was watching other things in my body just to get a sense. And very honestly and truly, I was able to not diagnose my recent cancer, but get it diagnosed because I went after the things that seemed wrong in my system. I went after tests with doctors until they got to the bottom, and they found a tumor in my kidney because I had gotten over the years to know my body. Did I mention I started this health portion of my journey over 20 years ago? I'm going on 21 years ago. So I was a CPA, I was in big business, I had spent a ton of time destroying my body, tearing it down, working 12 and 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, doing Wall Street kind of work. When I flipped, when my mom got diagnosed with cancer and decided to get to the bottom of what caused her to have the second cancer in her life. She had been 10 years breast cancer free and then got renal cell carcinoma, an incurable, untreatable cancer. And again, that left-brained analytical side of me wanted to get to the bottom of that. And it allowed me to learn all these things that I'm sharing with you that allowed me to get to know my body and get to listen to it. So that's point number 2. And Bob Harper was agreeing with me this morning on his TV segment that he did on the Today Show. How cool is that? Thanks for watching me on YouTube today. And remember, this is a series, so you don't want to miss the next few days. Stay tuned, share this with your friends, and above all else, live an amazing life.